That was the price of your crown.
Die! I want you to die.
Soon enough, I'll be dead. And you'll be king.
I don't want anything from you. You're not a man. You're not my father.
You are my son, and you have always known my mind.
You deceived me.
You let yourself be deceived. But in your heart, you always knew what had to happen here. At last, you know what it means to hate. Now you're ready to be a king.
My hate will die with you.
Just like a G, you know? Struggle, what's part of fight? Before they do it. I wake up and go give me some new money. You know I'm living like a G. These little niggas ain't gonna take nothing from me. You know we do it like a G. I swear to God, I fuck on anyone. Just like a gangster, just like a G.
Just like a gangster, just like a G. Welcome to the Chit podcast. I'm your humble host, Galvarino Chili. I probably explained it like 8 times already who Galvarino was and why I'm Galvarino Chili, the cool kind. I'm not going to explain it today, but if you still don't know, Google it, as they say. Hey, welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing good out there. Let me get the day started. I banged out a lot of episodes this week. It's July 4th. I hope everybody had a good July 4th. I banged out a couple episodes over the July 4th weekend. I got an episode with the rugged Tucky in there. You know what I mean? It's been a good weekend. And I'm back today on Monday. Back now, like I never left. And I'm back with another. Where's my hand clap? I'm back with another pro tip. I had a thought come to me earlier. And since when the thought comes to me, if it's a good one, I bring it to you. And that thought that came to me was ideas have a shelf life of their own. And I was thinking to myself, because you always have ideas about different things, and then you move on some things, you don't move on some things, and some things you wish you moved on or later on. And it's like ideas have a shelf life. And I think they have their own timeline. Each idea's shelf life is, it depends on how strong or how good that idea is. So an idea in your head is like an idea on the shelf. And no matter if it's better than the idea you're working on, the one you're working on is the one that's going to win. So the bottom line is ideas need to be put into action. And it made me, when I was thinking about that, it made me think about my company, Ink the Screen, and my tagline. Like my company's motto is ideas into ink and then ink into impact. And I was like, maybe that's why I was thinking about ideas. But that's my pro tip for this day, July 6th. This is season 2, episode 6. And I pulled the banner up and I didn't hit play on the banner. All right. The banners help me know if I need to cut something, where to cut it at. That's just bad. I'm getting better with tech. I'm getting better. But bottom line is, the pro tip for today is ideas have their own shelf life. Don't let yours sit for too long. Act on it. I could have made another pro tip. I could have made a pro tip about be careful for what you wish for. Because I was watching this video, right? Let me see if I can play it. I probably gotta add it up here. I don't think I have it added. I was watching this video of this lady. She was like bringing her dog outside, and as when she was bringing her dog out, another dog, like an American bully pit bull, like ran up to the dog, and it wasn't like even growling or aggressive, but it got it had it doing the thing that they be doing with their shoulders straight and their tail stiff. And the lady started spazzing and screaming. And then her son came out and was like, "What you screaming for?" And I was like, man, I'm thinking to myself at the time about how bad this lady's panicking. And then the funny thing is, last night I'm in the house and I hear something on the door, like hitting the door. So I thought, my wife. I had just heard my wife walk by. I thought my wife had went outside and got locked out. So I go, no thinking about it. I just go and open the door, unlock it, and go to twist it to open it. And the dog ran in the house. Right, it was like some random dog just came running in the house. So my first reaction, I kicked the shit out this little nigga. It was a big dog though. And it just like ran through my kick, ran in the house. And now I go grab him because now I'm thinking like I'm gonna have to take this dog down. But then it made me think about this lady who was like panicking over the dog coming up on her dog. And it was like I had just watched the video and I was just laughing at her and her reaction. And then I had my own encounter with like some random dogs just running in the house. But all in all, the dog was pretty cool. After I kicked him and like roughed him up to get him out of my house, he was cool. I talked to him outside. He went on about his day. I'm like, bro, I got my daughter here. You can't just come running up in my shit. Though. Hey, ain't gonna go like that. But let me play the video of this lady. Hold on. Where is it at?
Nino! Oh my God! Nino! No! Nino! Nino! Go get the gun! Go get the gun, boy! Nino! Go get the gun! Nino! Oh, you tripping? What the heck you still screaming? Go!
What's funny is her son is like, "Go get the gun." And I was laughing because I'm like, yo, that's like a crazy overreaction. Like, I'm gonna say, "Go get the gun." Like Nino was just like curious. Like, Nino, he looked like he could put in some work, but like, Nino wasn't aggressive. Son is like, "Go get the gun." Mommy is screaming. I'm like, yo, everybody calm down. And I was watching that video and I was laughing at it. And then literally a dog just came running up in my house. I was about to put that dog in a super headlock. Like, you better get him out of here, bro. You know it's good for you. But anyway, hope that dog is good. You know what I mean? I ain't beat him up too bad. I don't want animal rights coming at me. I just had to get him out my house. Anyway, with that, let me go ahead and move on. I got a good guest today that I wanted to get to. I met this good sister at an event for artists and creatives, and she's a I'm gonna get this wrong, but when she comes on, she can correct me. But she's a intellectual celestial terrestrial is how she describes herself. That means she does a lot. I think that's what that means. I don't want to say what it means. I want her to say what it means. And with that, I want to welcome TJ the Great to the stage. TJ is working on a pretty interesting novel too. She was telling me about a story. That's what really caught my attention. She's working on I'm cool with all of the other stuff like the art. I love art. If you know me, you know I love art. You know me, and you know I love music. Her novel was really catching my attention. And then she told me something about intellectual, terrestrial, celestial. I don't know. I'll let her say it. Hey, TJ, how you doing? Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the Chit podcast. How you doing on this Monday?
I'm okay. Thank you for inviting me.
Did I get it right with the intellectual, terrestrial, celestial?
ICT, and it's the IC language, intellectual, celestial, terrestrial. And I'm a word being. My words grow. And I glow green when I dream. I'm a word fiend.
You go green when you dream. You're a word fiend.
That's right.
Okay, wait. They say that again one more time. You glow green when you dream because you're a word fiend.
So what it's saying is I'm an intellectual, celestial, terrestrial, meaning I'm a whole bunch of things. I'm terrestrial. I'm intellectual. I'm smart. Celestial, creative, conscious, terrestrial. From not feeling, not having power. Regular people beings. I'm a terrestrial. That's why I call myself that. And I glow green when I dream. I'm a word fiend. I'm a poet, so I call myself a word fiend.
I see. I had to just make that a quick banner. She glows green when she dreams because she is a word fiend. Okay.
Right. That just means I'm a poet.
That just means you're a poet.
That's
It was a lot of that was a really nice event that they put on yesterday. Or not yesterday. That was like 2 days ago.
Of 3.
That,
Yeah, it was
3 days.
3.
Yeah, that was a really nice event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's weekly now. I think they're doing it weekly.
Yeah, it's weekly now. Yeah, I'm gonna catch some of them. I won't catch all of them, but I'll catch some of them. But that was a nice event. And so how was the one you went to another one on Sunday? You did another open mic with
the Poetry Lounge.
The Poetry Lounge. Okay.
It's at Ink and Pilot downtown on Milam.
Got it. So
yeah,
how would you describe the poetry open mic scene in Houston? And is it at its peak now, or is it growing to get back to the peak it was at before?
I can't say it's at a peak that it's ever been at before, because I'd be fibbing. There has never been a peak like this. It's a place pretty much that you can go every day of the week. Places that I don't even know about, or places that stream across my timeline. So the answer is there's somewhere always to go for an open mic where poets can hit the mic. It's grown. It has grown. I can't say it's growing. It's continuously growing. It's somewhere that you can, like, poetry wasn't big at first. If I could say, it was just for the people, stuff that the boring people did back in the days. And I remember trying to invite folk, and folk would be like, "Oh, that's so boring." But poetry is not boring. It's spoken word, and poetry is so many different versions of poetry, or different genres of poetry, that there's no way you could ever be bored if you come to an open mic, unless your brain is turned off. Okay.
I respect what you just said there, that poetry used to be used to be treated like it was something for the boring back in the day. And I think that is I agree that there's places where that was the case, or could be the case. And I think it always, like you said, when your brain is turned off is how you tied it back the right way, because it's like I feel like there was a moment where we were pushing actively as a culture certain sides of intellectualism, and then that got drowned out. And once that got drowned out, and what became more beneficial was lack of intellectualism, then it treated it like it was a boring space. But now that once you tap in cool and culture back into intellectualism, it helps the intellectualism grow. And then it also, once, I think maybe it could be that because of who's starting to steer the community, or certain groups who are starting to steer the community, or maybe the community is taking back control, because maybe we weren't steering it before when it got.
I'll say that it has something to do with we're becoming more conscious of a lot of things, and the reason why is we're becoming more knowledgeable. I think that we were programmed a specific type of way.
Exactly.
And the way we were programmed in our thought process was hindering the growth of our intellect. And so that hinders us from being able to enjoy, well, I'm not saying us, but people, certain mind frames, from enjoying spoken word. But now becoming more conscious. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody. Conscious people are coming more so to different open mics, because I think poetry is for conscious people who's not in a shell all the time. They want to be out of the shell. I have this thing say, I think outside of the box, in the X zone, not the Y zone. So when you're always thinking in the same zone or the same axis, your mind do not want to go to the other side, if I can say that. But my mind has always went to the other side, regardless. Said, I believe in simulations, and I believe we are being we're in a simulation, in an algorithm, and looking for in order to I think they're looking for a specific outcome from us. So poetry is conscious. It's for the conscious people, or people that's listen that have a sense of wanting to hear things that broaden their consciousness.
Exactly. Now I heard everything you said, and that was a word. The I'm gonna definitely dive into the scene a little more. That was a real random for me. I was doing something else, and I was like, I'm gonna go over here, and I went over there, and it was a good time, and it was worth it. And like I said to you, and I said to a couple other people there, I really haven't been making my way out into the city. I call it the city. I live down in Pearland, so I don't really go up into Houston to do too much unless it's like kids' birthday parties, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, other than that, I'm just around here, and I was like, let me go over there and check this out, because I had met one of the guys, the promoters, like last year. And I told him I was going to come out to something, but it's like it literally. I hit him up on like Thursday, and I was like, I keep missing your stuff, and I was like, I gotta come to one of them. And then so like I had looked like Friday, and it was like, oh yeah, they're doing that tomorrow. I was like, let me go over there and I'll do some reading. And it was real cool. It was real fun to actually read from the book over there. Do my first open mic myself. You a vet at this. You've been doing it for how many years? You've been doing it?
I've been doing poetry over 20 years.
Open mic?
Open mic over 20 years probably now.
Oh yeah. And you've also, along with the poetry, you've done music. So you've been doing performance-based creativity and art development for a while then.
For over 20 plus years. I started in the early 90s. I was working with stage productions. I did stage plays.
He was working with who? Say that again. I'm sorry.
I was doing stage productions in the early 90s.
Maybe
the late 90s. Stage productions. I was working with stage plays. I produced stage plays back then. I just had a whole bunch of things that I did. The poetry, it's been over 20 years. I remember, I think the first show maybe was in 1992. So I was going first, and then in the early 2000s, I started probably 2000, if I could remember. It had to be 2000 because I got this piece of poetry right here. It says on the bottom of it was the year 2000. And so I knew I was going before that.
We were still on beepers in 2000, yo.
Yeah. Crazy.
Payphones and beepers, yo.
Oh, I was a word processor, buddy. This thing was processed on a word processor. I'm not even lying. I had a binder full of stuff, and I went looking at it in a year, because what I did is I put the years at the bottom. This poem I have was not, I don't have it now, I just took it to the store. It said the year 2000. So I wrote it on the word processor.
You wrote it on. Explain to the people what that means when you say I wrote it on a word processor. And this day and
word
age,
processor was after a typewriter. So a typewriter, you couldn't make no errors. You have to use the little white paper, and then when you move over to the word, you guys, that was
how hard it. Sorry to interrupt you, but people will never. I think people will. It's lost on people just how difficult it was. You know how like remember when they first made those typewriters that you can backspace on?
Backspace. When you said that, I already knew that was good.
That was next level.
You couldn't backspace.
People don't understand nowadays with and
you would have to use that little white paper, that little white strip, and put it on there. And if you made a mistake back then, you just made a mistake. You just have to keep going. But then what happened is when they hit the backspace, you can use that little white correction paper, and you can go behind, and then you can correct the thing, but you're gonna still see the white part on the piece of paper. Yeah,
trying to type on a typewriter was.
See, the word process, it was like a mini computer, like a tablet almost, like a mini tablet where you could see what you was doing, and you could type it in there first, and then you can go in and put the corrections in. But that was the difference in the word processor. So when the computer came out, the word processor.
Yeah, that was I tell people all the time, if you were coming of age in that time, you've seen so many different versions of life because stuff has accelerated so fast.
I had that beep, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because if you like people who are born into this technology, like my mind, like I think the way my mind works, a lot of times when I'm working with younger kids, you know what I mean? Like for what I do for a career, I get a lot of young people coming into the industry. And I just feel like you can just see like their mind isn't like their mind is wired to only do things through technology. Like me, I can take a pencil and a ruler, or I could use technology, and I tend to prefer to do the pencil. But like it's like when you they'll never understand the difficulties and the complexities that we had to go through to express ourselves or get a design out, because there was so many different tedious tasks you had to do for every action back in that, like even for what I do for computer aided design, it's called CAD.
Oh, I worked in CAD. I used to be. I did an apprenticeship. In 4 years, I worked in the graphic department of a
Okay. So yeah, so AutoCAD and all of that, or one of those CAD type platforms.
Yeah, AutoCAD and QuickPen. That's what we use.
Okay. All right. So then so like
that was a complicated
think of that. I use like all of those softwares, like
layers on top of layers, and you just have the transparencies and layers. And so I know exactly what you're talking about, because I worked with CAD on the job for years.
But what I was about to get at is, imagine when you have to do that not with CAD but with paper.
Oh yeah, but I remember a point in time before CAD came out, we did it like that. I saw it in the early 90s working in a sheet metal shop. I did a 4-year apprenticeship, and we didn't have. We had machinery, but our machines we didn't have the highest of the best software, and so we would literally have like even when you go to the cash or check, remember back in the days, they used to have to take your thing and swipe it with the little copy thing, take a copy of your credit card before they could put it in. And you didn't have a system to put it in. It was just you go into the store and they swipe your card, and they didn't know if you had money on the go in the store, and they swipe the little thing on. This is many years ago. They'll take it as like a little copy machine. They had a copy paper, and they'll make a copy of your credit card, and you go in the store, and you don't even have to have the money on the card that same day, because they wasn't gonna run it till the next day. They're gonna have somebody else, or the next week they're gonna have somebody running your stuff through a system. So now everything turned digital.
Today's scammers would have loved it to be back then.
Because imagine that they just had this little carbon paper.
They would have been singing spin. They would have been with my scamming ass. That they'd have been singing that all day long back in that day.
They would have had so many ways to scam them. The world would be broke.
Like wait, it takes them 5 days, 4 days to know that I didn't have nothing.
It used to take 5 to 7 days to process your credit card back in the early 90s. Because I remember my first card was a Discover card, and I got that in college. And I remember I went and bought some new clothes with that card. And I remember they took that carbon thing, and I just remember that.
They just slide it,
credit card. So yeah, I tell everybody that the world has definitely changed, and we in a new era, and I think it's a dumb era. I hate to say it, I believe it's a dumb era. I believe that people won't be using their brain as much. I'm not gonna say dumb. They're in the era of Dolas and Chat GPTs and all these different technologies, Claudes, and they're in this era where things are getting ready to. I tell everybody, when you lose your memory, they say you need to be working. Yeah, with Alzheimer's and dementia. Those are diseases that and to stop it, they say you need to be reading and memorizing and having your brain work in a specific way, so you won't, like, your brain will be continuing to use it. But I believe everybody, if we don't take it upon ourselves to advance knowledge for ourselves, then we might. So a lot of people gonna have that issue in the future if they're not using their brain.
So basically, what you're saying is, you're saying that instead of, let me see if I can type as fast as I talk. Instead of the road, how do you spell perdition? Perdition?
I don't know what you said. I don't know what you mean.
Instead of the road to perdition, you're saying we on the road.
Yeah, I was saying with our brains, we're not using it as much. If you're using the GPT,
No, I was trying to type this banner in.
Oh, okay. Instead of road.
I was trying to. You said instead of the road instead of the road. Oh man, see, I can't type. Oh man, hold on for a second. Let me edit this. Instead of the road to perdition, we are
on the road to dementia.
On the road to dementia. That actually might be a thing. Instead of the road to perdition, we are on a road to dementia.
To dementia, and I tell everybody that if you're not taking a point, even in school, the kids don't even know how to sign their names anymore. They don't even take in cursive. Everything is on a computer, and they teaching babies coding right now. This 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds, they're learning how to code. Now that's a good thing, but how many of the 2-year and 3-year-olds gonna actually use the coding? So that means these kids gonna be super smart, but the computers are still thinking for them.
Yeah. Well,
they're gonna be smart, but they're gonna be dumb because they're not gonna. They're gonna use their brain for some things, and the rest of the things that they learn.
Yeah, what I was saying to my cousin about your point, and I think it's a valid point about. I don't think it's that society inherently collectively, like if you take the aggregate of people in the past or the whole of the people in the past and compare them, I think that we are pretty much the same or above, right? But I think the difference is with this medium of technology that we have, it's the first medium of technology that has made it simplified to the way where people who are transversing life on a lower level actually can excel and do better with the medium than people who are transversing through life on a higher level. Like in the past, like it was like the cream rose to the top, like the intellectual cream.
Now all they gotta do is chat GPT. If they want to know what
it is. So now what happens is like now it's like the way I said the way I explained it to my cousin is like this. We were doing the speaking for the community in 1800 as a black man. Like there wasn't like no regular nigga doing the talking. It was like Frederick Douglass.
Like somebody that's highly educated.
It's a joy of truth. It was like if you're going to be the person doing, if you're going to be out front speaking for us, you're not going to be the guy that's chasing the chicken.
You're going to represent us. You're going to know something.
You're going to know something. And you're going to be coming with it. Nowadays, like, the more you know, the less they even want you to represent them.
That means it's null and void. That means that's what I'm saying. That's the concept. The people who are not conscious is one people who not conscious to be a part of their groups. So what that means is the dumb and dumb gets done.
Well, the reason here's the reason for it. I hear you that's your motto, that the dumb and dumb. I don't want to talk over your motto. You said the dumb and dumb gets dumber. That's your motto, and I can agree with that. But the reason for it is this medium of technology, the internet. Like I had said to my cousin, I said the library was better for the world than the internet was. I said, because the library was a place that people of higher thinking and higher learning and people who wanted to excel went to, and it propelled them in their thoughts.
Well, another thing is I have
there.
A friend that's
whereas with the internet, the internet, you can go to the internet too, and the internet is full of information. It's full of information. It's full of information that can help expand your knowledge base. And if you understand how to utilize that knowledge base, you can come at the world with some wisdom. That's not what we use it for, right? So, like, where's the library birthed all of the creations we live with, the internet has birthed a lot of the problems we live with. And so it's a difference in how the technology has impacted society, because what happened was society wasn't required. Like whereas in China, like I always tell people in China's like, listen, you're not going to use this technology for all this foolery. Yeah, and you're not going to be just sitting in here twerking in Walmart. We're just not going to be out here like that. Like,
I know what you're talking about. Wow, it's all up and down.
yeah, you're not going to just be coming through the store just doing antics and pranks and who can get drunk the fastest. Like, they're like, listen, we're going to do all of this AI, robots. China got beds that'll help you have sex. Yeah, we can do all of that. But you ain't going to be outside acting like a goddamn fool either, though. Like, we're not going to do that. And so, like, whereas in America, it's like open season and it's a clown show. The internet is like literally like, it's like a cesspool a lot of the times. And we need to clean it up.
I think we when we came up with the internet, they dropped it. They came up with it. Hold on. They came up with it too quick. The same way I believe they're doing with AI. They're just thinking about the money part, and they're not thinking about the things that the possible ramifications of certain things that can happen with this type of technology. And even if you're looking at some of these articles, they're showing that like even Claude had to do a retraction because of the United States government said that it was too much. It was too much information that could be given and used in a bad way. So what's going on is we're not researching these things before we actually just release them, or we research them and we don't think about other possible ramifications of certain things that can go on from us having this type of knowledge. Like I said, this internet is the World Wide Web was wonderful, but what did it do in the meantime? It put all kind of, there's good and bad in everything, if I can say that.
Facts. And the internet is a beautiful creation. I don't want to take anything away from the internet.
Me neither.
The internet is a beautiful creation, and the military created the internet. The United States military created the internet, but the point is, what the internet has done is, I'm a dude who I used to sit outside on different blocks or avenues with friends at night and just have around the way banter, like, and around the way conversations. And you got every block. I would hang with different crews in different blocks, and I hang with different crews in different states. And it was the same similar dynamic at every crew that I was ever hanging with in any kind of environment. It was similar dynamics. You had similar personalities, not exact, but you had a person who was like this. You had a person who was like that. It was similar things that you would always come across. And with the internet, in my opinion, the internet has taken those type of things that I recognized when I was going through different situations in different environments, and it put them on Front Street. Whereas now there's so many people who could relate to that type of a person or that type of a thing because you've seen it in different environments the way I have, that we gravitate to it clickbait wise on the internet. So it's like the thing that is most familiar becomes the most popular. And so what happens, because the internet spreads out across the world, you get it kind of brings the quality, not the quality down, I don't want to say it that way, but it kind of like, no, I don't want to say law of averages, but it just brings it down because it's like, if you got to just bring it to a relatable space amongst a lot of people, everyone can't relate to TJ's the Great's intellectual, celestial, terrestrial.
I know, right? It's a lot for him.
Everyone can't relate to that. Like, of the billions of people on the planet, 1 billion people are not going to be able to relate to that. It might be 1,000, 100,000 who can relate.
I like it like that, though.
It might be you lucky if you get 100,000 who can relate. You might get 10,000 who can relate, right? Whereas busting somebody in the head with a bottle in a cafe or throwing water in the face and all of the things that really bring you down, there's 1 billion people who can relate, or 500 million, and then what happens is the likes and the clicks all flood, and then it starts to lift that boat over there. So then everyone say, wait, that boat is growing. Let me do the same. And so then it just becomes like it becomes a circus. And that's what happened with the internet. It became a whole circus. And it was a good thing. And it should have stayed a good thing, but it became OnlyFans.
Yeah. So the internet actually was the World Wide Web was created by Tim Berners. He worked for CERN. I think in 1989 was the internet was created. And Tim was working for CERN. So that is like you say, it's military and it's a whale. It literally is a whale. Like it's if you think about how far it's gone, it's like the biggest web I've ever seen or heard of. I just think of a spider web that continue to grow and never stop. And now it's years later. Now that web got super thick. You understand it? So that's with the advanced.
Say that again. Who created it and where were they?
His name was CERN. So CERN is the place where they research physics, matter, hydrogen, mass, matter. That's where they learn how to hydrogen. They're experimenting with all kinds of things. So this is when it was created at CERN. And CERN was the place where all the physics, the biggest physics facility is located at. And so I was telling you when I saw you about the solar flares, about the major technological advancements. Most major technological advancements happen at CERN, and it happened on massive solar flare days.
And how do you spell CERN? Is it SEARN or CERN?
Yeah, CERN. You can look that up on social media. And they didn't shut this facility down for 4 years to 2030. So they didn't give no kind of. They say they're doing some updates at CERN right now, but I think it's because of AI, the technology changing. They say they're upgrading their technology and their systems right now. So we don't go with that because I don't believe that. But hey, I'm not I can talk.
Yeah, because I mean, the U.S. military laid the cables throughout all of the world's oceans and waterways to connect the different continents, and that's the fiber optics that creates what we know as the internet. Because you got two ways to do it. You can go to the satellite and beam up and then get beamed down, or you go through the fiber optics, which is the cables.
Yeah. So now with the artificial intelligence, it's changing. They're doing data towers instead of going they're using like China and different countries, like Bill Gates. I think he's just dropped some in the ocean, but the AI, the artificial intelligence, it's changing the way that the technology. Now we're still gonna have this World Wide Web, and so we still gonna have the same underwater or up the bottom or the top, but we got this new stuff coming out, and I'm just excited and trying to figure out what's gonna happen with the advancements in it. I'm not excited about the side effects of them not figuring out how to cool the systems down, but I'm excited about what's coming from it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this AI because you're using AI. This is a good way to pivot. You're using AI for different things, but one of the things you're using it for is media, right? Is that correct?
Yes, I use it I have several shows. I'm actually launching my own network called the Volution Network on the Roku stick.
Don't talk over that. Don't talk over that. Say that slower. You're launching your own network. You're writing and ready to produce and put together a show package, not a show package.
Yeah, I have numerous shows that I have. Yes, if you follow me, the information you'll release the information. I have a show called Muffin in the House. It's a kids just clips of AI versions of it. I drew. These are images of my own images that I drew, and I took it and I uploaded it into software, and I created these characters, not of cartoon. They are still cartoon, but I brought them to life, if I could say that. I have a TV show, a series, a children's series called P-Man and the Masters of Poetry. It's about poetry, and I have a villain called a Scribbler. And the P-Man they have galactic afros that glow, specific afros after you win poetry battles. And then I have one called Yuana's World. Yuana's World is a show that I have been creating for a while, but I didn't know where I was going with it. And Yuana's World is a children's animation as well, but this is tied into me getting to New York for one of New York runway fashion designers. It's actually talking about my real life. So Yuana's World is they're on a mission to get me to New York. And by me getting me to New York, they massive ball they're doing a ball, and I'm not gonna give too much away. So once I continue the videos, and then I have another. I do fashion. I'm a fashion jewelry designer and a fashion designer. My company is Abstract Tees. That's gonna be like the home shopping network on my network. I have We Super Goofy. That's like Comedy Central, which I produce funny. Ooh.
So
yes.
So let me ask you this: How do you figure out what you are going to put your energy into? So like you just went into a lot of different things, and so like to focus in on it. If you wanted to like the TV shows that you're producing, you said you said two things. You said one, the fashion thing is in New York.
Yes.
Right. The TV productions, that's something that you're doing locally, that you're trying to prepare for Roku, but you're also in a TikTok contest for AI animation.
So
those are three separate goals, right? That you're chasing. How are you figuring out how you put energy and time into which one, and which one do you want more?
So the thing with it, they all flow simultaneously. It's not that I want one more. It's just that I tell everybody I haven't watched television in years. I create all day long. I have my whatever I think thoughts is money. So when I have a thought, I turn it it's my creativity. I take it and I put it into everything that I'm doing. So people ask, how can I do this? How can I do that? It's because that's a part of my life. If you calculate how much time you spend on television or time you spend on extracurricular activities, my extracurricular activities is creating, and if I have a thought, the answer to your question is when I have a thought, I create that thought right then and there. I don't sit on it. So that's the reason why I'm able to do it. Like even with my kids' TV show, it's like you ever had a itinerary? My life is an itinerary.
I promise y'all, I did not know she was going to say this. This is how the universe works. My pro tip to start the show was ideas have a shelf life. And if you listen to what she just said, like this shit is written, bruh. Like like it's supposed to happen. It's like I be feeling like Thanos. I'm inevitable. I'm inevitable, nigga.
You can't sit on the idea. That's why I have all these.
I was coming up with I just be coming up with pro tips, right? And I said my pro tip, it has to be based on ideas. That's what I told myself today. I said it gotta be based. I said I had a thought about an idea and I was thinking about I was gonna do a different pro tip about creativity. I said no, it gotta be about the idea. So then I took the thought I had about idea and I said that today on the show at the beginning. And you're saying this shit right now about what you just said. I'm like, see this glove, nigga.
So I also want to say that just like you said, they have a shelf life. If you do it when you have that thought, you create that thought.
But don't walk away from your point you was on. I'm sorry for interrupting you. But yeah, when you have a thought, create that thought. Go ahead.
I forgot that point.
I'll bring you back to it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was also saying is because I'm creating so much at one time, I do seasons. Just like they do on regular TV. Like now my Yuana's World is in the season. I just ended Yuana's World. I still post certain videos, and P-Man is in the season. It's at the end of the season, and Muffin in the House is not started yet, but because I'm working on this AI, this TikTok competition, so I took a break from releasing Muffin in the House, the kids show, and I do what I call freestyle flow sessions every single. Probably I try to do them maybe 3 or 4 times a month now. So that's another one, a TV series that I'm having. It's me freestyling, singing, freestyle different guests on if I possibly can, and I do a freestyle session with them, and we create right on the spot. And so I have other shows that those are just some of the different shows that I have, because I believe any idea that you have in your brain can be used and it's used to create with. So
She said, I believe ideas is money.
That's right, exactly right.
I'll bring you back to the idea. I'm gonna bring you back to the thoughts you thought you forgot. I don't forget none.
So I believe that I do money, and not only that, you cannot sit on those ideas. If you sit on that idea, you're gonna lose it. Like I had an idea the other day. So I'm gonna give you an example. I know right now water is gonna become scarce. We already know that water is gonna become scarce if they continue with these AI data centers. I had an idea. I had this dream last night. I was sleeping and I woke up. I said, with water becoming scarce, why don't I create a shower? Invent a type of shower that it can be done, where maybe a 1 gallon of water can spread out the water just like you could if you had a shower, but just enough where you could get cool, because things about to change. The amount of water we're using is getting ready to, like, if you notice with all these data centers, if they don't do anything, they're gonna wipe the planet of the good part of the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no, that's a good point about the potential water shortages that could be in tow for society.
Oh, it's already done now. The Rio Grande River is grown. The Oklahoma, a lot of the rivers and the rivers and streams in North Carolina.
Come in.
It's a lot of different places in the world where they had water they no longer have.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm in the middle of the show. Give me 1 moment. When I'm done with the show, I'll be right there. Can you give me a moment? Okay, she doesn't. She. Oh. Okay, you got 5 seconds now. Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but what I was saying is,
go ahead.
Yeah, we have to be. You have to be conscious of the technology changes. Even with we have to know that what's going on. Like I tell everybody, I love AI, but I know if we don't get a hold on what's going on with this water, the water usage, I think we need to figure out before they continue with these different data centers. I really believe that they need to come up and figure out a different way to cool those towers other than water. Because what's happening now, if you look at some of the articles on what they're doing, they drop these data cables in the ocean, and it's warming up the ocean. And what's happening are these fish that they haven't seen in billions of years are coming to the surface.
Sorry, they come to the surface.
Yeah, these billions.
You see those skeleton fishes with the teeth that's 2 feet long.
But you're disturbing their habitat. If you think about it, we're disturbing their habitat. If I'm in the bath taking a cold shower and you turn that hot water on me, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, it's like it was cold down there. You made it hot, bruh.
That's right. I don't like hot, so I'm going to the area that's the coolest to me, and that's exactly what these sea creatures are doing. So we have to think about what we're doing. We're messing up their ecosystems, and we're messing up their habitats, and it's going to cause all kind of problems.
So what you're saying is they're taking the expended or the used computer equipment and they're dropping it and dumping it in the ocean?
Yeah. They're putting these data centers, these data cables inside of the ocean. So we already
they're putting the cables at the bottom, and so the cables are heating up the bottom.
That's right. And you know what happens? Heat rises, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening?
But they're not even putting. They're not putting good insulation on these cables or something.
No, if you look at the ones in China, it looks like just a little dome with the cables in the inside, and the ones in the United States. I'm gonna be honest, they don't have any rules and regulations in the United States. We don't know. They could just be dropping it raw down there and dragging it, and who knows, because there's nobody to go and figure out exactly how they're doing it. They just know they're doing it. There's no rule Okay, there's no OSHA coming and says the Occupational Safety and Health Administration say, hey, there's a certain habitat that live here, and we can't put the data cables in this area. No, they're dropping it wherever they
Don't open any of these drawers over here.
So
that was a. So
data center,
when are you gonna know about the Roku portion?
What happens is
I'm gonna get to the book in a moment, but the book I want to end on the book, so I want to start.
So the Roku thing is money, and I'm trying to figure out how to continuously pay for it because it's expensive to pay for this subscription every single month. Not only that, I'm generating these artificial AI videos, and I have to pay for their package. And right now, I'm trying to get to New York, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's the list of two evils? I ain't gonna say evils. Which one do I prefer to do? So what I'm going to do is, if I win this contest for TikTok, I'm gonna take the money and go to New York and also create and also start the network. So that'll be the prize money, and I'm planning on winning this prize. And if I don't, I ain't gonna cry. It ain't gonna kill me. I'm gonna just keep entering contests. So this is a mini creator series. It's a movie production series. It's just a mini though, and it's, so I'm already finished the script. They give you to the 12th. I'm gonna send it out on the 11th, the day before. I finished this. I'm not gonna say I finished the script. I finished the outline, and I finished the synopsis, and I finished.
So the 11th of July. I mean,
July 11th. So I got it. Like I said, only thing I got to do is write the. They want it in a certain format. I just need to put it into the format that they're requesting. But I can tell you, it's another artificial. It's another sci-fi. So it's already ready to go. I'm just taking my time with it because I continue to read over it, and I want to add more plot twists to it, and the chapters and stuff like that. So that this right here, this is beautiful. I love to be able to create. Like, I think that the creator created us to be able to create with our minds, and he gave us this beautiful mind of ours, and with this beautiful mind, what am I going to do with this mind with all these different ideas in it? And I believe that once we have ideas, if we need to take those ideas and turn them into something. And somebody asked me one day, how are you capable of doing all this? And I say, because once I see an idea in my head, I know how to take that idea and turn it into actuality, to turn it into real life. So when I saw Joe Muffin, I turned that into real life. I actually during COVID wrote that. During COVID, I wrote the Muffin in the House outline. Then with my P-Man, I wrote that 20 years ago. It was a poem that I did at the Porch and Lounge. It was about a poet who was a scribbler. I call her a scribbler. She would take people's poems and piggyback off. And now it's legal to do it now because they do it. But she would literally took my poem and dissected my poem and the exact same wording. She made her own poem exactly with line by line she used. And I wrote a P-Man. And even though she came back on me, I did a little poem. I did that about her. I ain't seen her since then, but that's what I wrote that. And then I have Yuana's World, and I have Freestyle Flow. Every thought I have is every creative thought. I believe that it should be money. So I'm gonna take my videos eventually off of. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take them off of social media. I'm going to archive most of my videos and only keep 8 videos on my social media. I have what they say 1,800, either 800 videos. 18,000 videos. I gotta look. I think it's 1,800 videos, if I'm not mistaken, or more, on just Facebook. So I went and I was like, how can I make money? Because they're making money off of me on Facebook. When people go and click on your pages, they're getting paid for for looking at your stuff. So I said I'm taking over my own videos, and so I'm taking most of my stuff and putting it on that network. And I got inspired by watching. I nanny some children occasionally. And I went to their house one day, and they had they had a Roku stick, and they were just watching this lady. She was a Facebooker. It's like you was looking at her lives, and it was just a whole bunch of lives back to back to back to back. And I'm like, y'all would like that? I said, these are lives from Facebook. And a lady literally had started her own network. She took her stuff off of Instagram Live and Facebook Live. and she took us up on the platforms.
I have to hand clap you for that. No, I think I definitely agree with everything you're trying to do there. One of the things I was joking with my pops about is I said as I figure out my website, I kind of like house my videos on YouTube.
It's a house to me, but they getting paid for your stuff. You are
I store it on YouTube because I can link to it for other purposes, and it saves me from having to have servers.
Yeah, because you think about it, that is all of your information, and they're getting paid. You're not getting paid if you're not one of the people with all the views, but they're coming to your page, looking at your page every day, and you're not getting paid, but they're getting paid from it. And you get like today, I think I did a video, I was singing, and it said I had so many hours of watch time with people who had watched that video over and over, and it showed I have 1 cent from thousands of views on this video. I'm like, so they get the money, and I get 1 cent.
You get a hand clap.
They should be the corporate person of Uber and Lyft, because that's how much you get kibbles and bits for driving for these companies now. Wearing your car in the dirt. And I said, the same thing with these social media platforms. You're not making no money off of these platforms unless you.
I knew an engineer who came up with the idea for Uber. He's not the guy who owns Uber.
Yeah.
We never get in this capitalist system. You don't really get paid for your.
I'll tell you, I drive Uber full time as well.
No, what I mean is the guy I met. He said, because what happened was he told me he's like, when they made the first iPhone, and he looked and he analyzed the iPhone and he realized what the capabilities were.
Yeah.
He was a Pakistani guy. He said he very smart guy, like PhD type guy. And he said he is like, it was like a eureka moment for him with the phones. Like, if this is the phone that they're using, then I could create this for that phone. And he said he created out Uber, and he started to go through the process.
Yeah.
To do like patents and stuff like that. And I forget all of the details of the story, but he started the process, never finished the process, but then the idea was put out by someone else. Don't sue me, Uber. Don't come for me.
Okay.
So like it's like with all of these things, like like when somebody said like the guy who designed Facebook, and then Zuckerberg was given Facebook by somebody else, and
that's why you take control of your own stuff and create your own stuff. Like I tell you, everybody take their stuff off of Facebook and all these social media platforms and go to and start their own channels.
I feel like a lot of the people, there's a document, not a documentary, but there was this thing. Most of the people that are in ownership positions of critical infrastructure, they're plugged in a certain way. It's not like just random outside people who create. Like, it's not like a random outside guy who has an AI company or a securities company everybody's kind of plugged in. And the idea, when the idea starts to get filtered to the top, I feel like they got like a system in place where they swoop that idea. It's like if you submit your manuscript. It was one of my fears I had. This is one of the fears I had. And as we get into it, I'm about to get into your book that you're writing or you're finished writing and you're going to put out. Well, one of the concerns I had was my books that I am putting out. They flow in a certain way and they have a certain purpose and they have a certain end goal. And when you go to someone and you say, hey, I have these and I want you to help me get these out there, you have to explain to them what the end goal is as you give them the product. And then you have to hope and trust. You have to hope and trust that now that they know you're a master player, they have the actual product. They're not going to real McCoy you. You know what I mean? Like the real McCoy.
I don't trust.
But the thing is, the real McCoys back in the day, for people who don't know what real McCoy means, is the real McCoy was the person who actually came up with something and came up with an idea or developed something. The real McCoy, though, was never the person who profited. Because what the real McCoy would do is the real McCoy would actually have the skill, the talent, the know-how. And the real McCoy would go out and make something. And then he would go to a person at a patent office or at another office and say, I have this thing. I want to patent this thing. And this is how this thing works. I give you this thing and I give you the how it works. And I come back tomorrow for my patent. And when I come back tomorrow, your cousin owns my patent because you gave your cousin my idea.
So patents don't mean nothing if big corporations got money. A patent is a law.
Yeah, no, patents don't. Yeah, that is true. That people are saying that is probably partly true in a way. But the point was though is the real McCoy was always robbed of the thing by the people in power who were supposed to protect the thing. And so my concern is always you gotta sit like I could have taken, I could take the book and say, okay, I'm going to put this in a package and mail it to someone so that they can read it. And then I also explain to them the next one and what I'm doing with both of them. And you got to say, my thing is, I know the stories of the people in the past who, when they mailed that book, but before that book came back to them with a rejection letter, they had already copied it. I know the story. So that's the only thing that I always think about with this type of stuff when it comes for what you're talking about with development and creativity. And so I used to sit on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sit on stuff because I'm like, I got to talk to somebody. And if I got to talk to somebody, that means I got to bring somebody in. I got to give something away. So you were talking to me about your book. Mm-hmm. And I love the concept of what you were talking about and the fact that it was sci-fi. And I told you that I also want to do sci-fi. I just don't want to do sci-fi yet. So is this sci-fi book going to be your first book, or have you put out something else before this sci-fi that I didn't get a chance to?
So this is the only thing that I sit on in my creativity are my books. So this will be my sci-fi, my first sci-fi book, but I have a fictional book called A Millionaire in the Park that I wrote already. It should have been produced already. It's just I sit on books. I have 3 kids' books that I created. I've been sitting on these books. Now that's the only thing that I sit on. The rest of my creativity I don't sit on. So the answer with this is my first sci-fi book. I'm excited because I'm researching and researching and researching and researching so that I can tie in certain events.
Do you want to go for traditional publishing? You want to do your own self-publishing?
I'm very creative, and I think I'm going to self-publish my books because I went and researched on how to self-publish my books. But it's not hard now with the advancements of software technology. You can easily publish your own books now. This with the advancements of AI, you can self-publish your books like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're using an AI and agent, I haven't gotten there yet. I still my process is I have a self-publishing company, Ink to Screen LLC. The website is for anybody is www.inktoscreenllc.com. But my thing is, I just got the website launched like a couple weeks ago. I'm a new self-publisher. I published my book. I'm helping someone publish their book right now, but I'm not going to publish it under Ink to Screen because I don't want to put my ISBN on it because I don't want to own their book. Yeah, it's a poetry book, and I don't do poetry. So I'm helping them with the poetry, and I'm helping them with the poetry book, the format, and all of that type of stuff. But I want them to self-publish it themselves. So I'm walking them through the process. I want to publish novels and potentially sci-fi because that's really my lane. But for you said you sit on books and you had the 3 children books, and now you're doing the sci-fi.
I have a poetry book that I wrote. I have a kids book called Metamorphosis Land. I have a book of poetry. I have the book that I wrote called the Millionaire in the Park. And then this book right here is going to be wrote. Now I'm probably going to do the same thing. It's not going to be shelved. It's just once I get into the mood, the mode of releasing and producing it, and actually getting the time to get the idea in and do it myself, then that's when I'm gonna do it. But it's not gonna be no time soon. Now the book is wrote pretty much, like I said. I just need to,
have you given it to ever given it to somebody to read?
I just be reading it to my Uber customers.
Here's the Uber customer. How many pages is it?
I don't even know because I keep changing it. So I'm trying no more than 200 pages. So anywhere between 200 to 250 pages. That's the max.
So yours is going to be 200 to 250 pages?
I'm trying to keep it at under 200. It's going to be 10 chapters, 200 pages.
Oh, really? And you're splitting this into parts?
Yeah, it's going to be parts. And after that, it's going to be, so the end of each one of each book is going to be an opening for the next chapter. So it's going to be always good prevail over evil, that type of ending, but good prevail against evil, and everything is quiet.
With me, I make it the other way.
Yeah.
In reality, good be losing.
Mine always have a plot twist at the end, though. So you're thinking one thing, but it's a whole different thing that you're thinking at the end.
My sci-fi books are going to be tragic. Like good ain't never winning. like yo, Obi-Wan.
In this book, I got the way that I don't want to say too much about it because
Obi-Wan Kenobi would have got his head chopped. Like Darth Vader's gonna come through.
So you're gonna be a horror. You're gonna horror sci-fi.
Well, I mean, but that's more. But horror sci-fi is more real life on Earth, though. You know what I mean? Like everything else is fantasy.
See, I'm gonna be more fantasy.
Like we live in like I live in Magaland. You know what I mean?
See, I'm gonna code it a little bit. Mine is gonna be a little bit of biblical in it, but it's gonna be, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that's put in it. I can't really give too much because I don't want nobody to like start running and trying to. Well, they my page, they'll see the videos, the AI videos that I've been doing. Those videos are better. It's kind of giving you a little hint of what the book is about. If they go over to my page and on Instagram, they'll be able to see that AI, the angelic AI.
Say what your Instagram is, by the way.
My Instagram is TUWANAJOHNSON, or I have 13 pages. We're gonna go to the Evolution. I tag myself in all the other pages, but this V as in violin, O UT.
Wait, spell your Instagram for me again.
I'm gonna use this Evolution, which is this is my music production company, and this is my media company, and everything is on the network I have is Evolution. That's the network. It's V as in violin, OLUT 10N. So that's Velut 10N actually, Velut 10N, and then it'll be under Wanda Johnson. That's TUWANAJOHN.
Hold on.
Okay.
So is it like that? Velut?
Yeah, VULO. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Evolution on Instagram.
All right. Let's just leave it there for that one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awesome. So I definitely think that if you have the book done, don't rework it too many times.
That's what I do think that working that book.
Yeah, I mean, 200 pages for sci-fi is a good sci-fi read. I mean, because that's pretty soft to get through. That's like sci-fi. Typical sci-fi is going to be word counts. All right, let's just do it like this. Like word counts for a novel.
It's normally what 200 to 250 pages.
It's going to be about 80,000 words for a novel.
You said 1,000 words?
80,000 words. So let's say for a novel, that's how they rank them. Like the
words.
top, the traditional publishers. I mean,
yeah.
So the way that they gauge works, literary works, right? So like a short novel would be in the 30,000, let's say, category words in a novel. A novel would be 80,000. Sci-fi, you're getting into 200 to 300 to 400,000 words, right? Per novel. So now when you translate that words, when you get 500 words on one Microsoft Word page that's formatted normal, right?
Yeah.
So then you can just divide that into the 80,000 or the 100,000 and see how many Microsoft Word pages that would be. And then there's a translation factor that we use to go from how many Microsoft Word pages you have to how many book pages you have. So depending on the size of book, that's the format. If you're doing like say a 6x9 book, one Microsoft Word page is like 1.75. So that means if you open up, if what you're talking about you have 200 pages typed in Microsoft Word.
That's going to be 200 pages. That's a lot of reading.
No, 200 pages. If you have 200 pages in Microsoft Word, you're sitting on, 375 pages in a regular book. Because you got to multiply it a factor of 1.75, because what happens is a Microsoft Word page is 8.5 by 11. You have to format a book, which is say 6x9 or 5x8. So you're going to take a bigger page and fit it into a smaller page, which means you need more smaller pages. Yeah, so like there's a whole process to this. Always remember what I always say. Life is too short to learn everything late. And with that, I love you. I'm out of here. I'll talk with you later, TJ.
All right, have a good night.
Real niggas stand up, we handle business. Keep it real up to tell you on the realest. Little bit mad, man, key, tight shit. 12 outside my house, cause I'm rich. Nigga been getting sprayed, they know how we playin'. Got out Halloween, but I'm no demon, baby. Niggas rats, I'm a bad father cause I raised them. Cause I made them. Yeah. Real love in my face. Peace and blessings on my face. Let my love spread, this ain't no phase. Blaming Jesus off of my face. My real brothers contribute to my pain. I'm putting racks up every single day. I've been coping, spending every day. I've been decent, living out of space. I came from nothing, now we made it to the top. New Rose rest with icing on the rocks, yeah. You a boss, just flex, you can do it. The next time I see you, we can do it. You say that you love me, then prove it. Yeah, the road respect you gotta charge. Keep it presidential, just like your wives. I can see you love me when I look into your eyes. You popping out with me on a Thursday. Bought you a house, it ain't in your birthday. I'm trying to do your pussy the worst way. Come on, baby. She said she hear a nigga crying. How the fuck you hear tears? I went on but I was lying. I've been pushing this shit for years. Baby, I'm sorry, okay?